under the workbench light. AV08 MK7, a legend on the brink. 2 faults spotted already, quicker than you'd think. This'll be a deep dive, a 2-parter for sure. 1 fault here, another one at the core. Screwdrivers ready, multimeter prepared. Time for the pickle magic the community shares.
Retro and Pickle, teaming up to make it right. Bringing old tech back from the edge of night. If it plugs in, winds up, or needs repair, you know the duo's on it. Retro, restore, and Pickle Tech repairs. That repairs. Oh. One tries his best, the other digs deeper. 2 tech heroes, both fixers and keepers. From charity finds to vintage gear, this is the collab everyone wants to hear. When one repair ends and another begins, together they turn breakdowns into wins.
Part 1 diagnosis, revive. Bringing this old Avo back alive. From cutouts stuck to readings gone cold. Every little clue makes the story unfold. Retro pass the torch, Pico takes the lead. A rescue mission every fixer can heed.
Retro and Pickle, legends in the fix-it scene. Saving classics, keeping history clean. If it's broken, rare, or needs that repair flair, call the dream team. Retro, restore, and Pickle Tech repairs. Tech repairs. Oh. One started the journey, the other takes it home. Together they prove no tech dies alone.
Right guys, straight away as soon as you come in the chat, Worms, I know what you like with your hot glue and everything else, so yeah, that's going to go down well, hot glue. So yeah, we've got, well, yesterday I was trying to look for yay, no hot glue. Yeah. Peter, how you doing, my friend? So yeah, I found it. You know, I was looking for the bloody bar top of this yesterday. You know, I'll put it aside, right? And you know, I couldn't find it. Yeah, it was up on a bloody shelf. I must have put it up on the shelf and then forgot where I put it. And I thought, for crying out loud, I know I've got it somewhere. Yeah, I put it back so I didn't lose nothing. Well, clearly I did. That's why I had to come back to it. So I found it anyway. So today, it's all about getting high. Right, so today we've got chemicals. We've got some lovely chemicals here to mix up. It's not glue, so don't run away with the idea, Worms, that it's glue, but it is still sticky. So obviously, so this is going to be comical of trying to mix some of this up. Now, this was recommended by Pico to actually do some of this. Ace, how you doing, my friend? So obviously, I couldn't find this yesterday. I thought it got lost or the dog ate it. So we're going to try and repair this today, which is what I wanted to do because someone drilled one of these bloody big holes at the side and ruined it. So we're going to do some mixing with chemicals. So we're going to see what this is going to be like. I've never used this stuff before. I got told by Pico this has got a right pong to it. So yeah, this is not going to go. I can see a disaster happening with this stuff. So this is going to be worse than glue. And we got some dye, black dye. So I think I should be prepared and actually put some rubber gloves on. So give me 1 minute, guys. Let me go and get some gloves. And I don't mean this, you know, these are surgical gloves, because obviously I don't want to get chemicals on my hand. Oh, this is gonna, you know, this is gonna end up. Yeah, you need to mix a small amount at a time, right? Yeah, this is, I can see a disaster for this. This is not going to end well. I reckon, one, this is going to be messy, and two, the chemicals on this, what this is going to give off, because this is a plastic resin, this is not going to end well, and it will get messy very quickly. So, fuck me, I can't even get the lid off. Jesus. Oh yeah, there you go. So we got instructions. We don't need them. We've got a plastic spudger. We're definitely going to need that, because we're going to need access to smoothing the sides off. We've got a hardener, right? And also we need to get the lid off. So first things first, let's get the, yeah, we're going to need the fume extractor on, which lucky enough I've got right in front of me. So first things first, let's give it the smell test, right? So if it passes the smell test, get thumbs up, right? So let's get eye. So first things first, lid off. Would help if I took my glasses off. I need to smell what this is. I bet this ain't gonna smell great. They put this on, you can't even fucking get it off. Oh, this is gonna be a start of the day, isn't it? Now, kids, warning: don't breathe in the fumes. It obviously says it's flammable, it's bad for your chest, and it's cautious. So obviously, not going to be great on that front. Well, it would help if I can get in it. They've sealed this up straight away. So, fuck it. Right, that's it. Let's break out the big guns. That's not shifting it. I need a bigger screwdriver. Bigger screwdriver. Okay, why do they put lids on that are so tightly sealed? Ridiculous. Oh, here we go. She's Lucy. Right. The big revealing. White paste. Oh yeah. Yeah. That smells like cellulose. Obviously puts me in mind, and it's white. So this is probably the reasons why I need a black dye. That smells like cellulose for use for cars when you're doing the old panel wipe. Smells like it. So it passes. So it wallpaper paste. I probably wouldn't recommend putting that on the wall, because this was recommended by Pico. So obviously we need, this is like a plasticizer. So obviously, because some muppet decided to drill a gaping big hole and ruin this bar top, and obviously I've got to try and repair it. So yeah, I'm gonna need something to put this on, and it's true what Pico said, small amounts add to it, because this only gives you 20 minutes on that, but it does pass the smell test, so it ain't too bad. It's not nauseating, but I wouldn't want to be long term of trying to breathe it all in, which is not ideal. So we've obviously got a hardener on that, yeah, hardener, and I've got to break out the dye. Now this is going to go down well, isn't it? Black dye. So sealed packet. Now straight away, you know, this is completely sealed on that front. This is USB microphone. Oh no. Oh no. Now I did manage to get it, thanks to Rusty Russ, right, and obviously Andy in the stream yesterday did get me one of my memes set up, but fuck me, was it an episode? Borat, yeah. So I don't know if the Borat one this still works. Obviously, it's still not coming up. Hold up, let me enable Borat. See if that comes up.
Whoa, whoa,
Comes up.
whoa.
So yeah, Borat is
Oh,
still
yeah.
working, but it's
Oh, yeah.
that's the only one I've got
King in the
out of a
castle,
list of
king in
them.
the castle.
Obviously, I've got to get
Have
the
a
others
chair, I have
set
a
up
chair.
at some point.
Oh, go do
One
this,
thing
go
at a
do
time.
this.
That was
King
an
in the
episode.
castle.
Fucking OBS, it's just absolutely a nightmare. So, Phil, it looks like we've all come in today. So yeah, let's have a Phil Spread. Thank you for morning. It's nice to see some people jump in the stream. So yeah, it's got to be worth that to breathe in the fumes and get high on the smell. So, you know, if we all get a bit funky, things start going wrong, I can blame the fumes for that. And I did buy some Maguire's. This you can only get from America. You can't buy it anywhere else. It's Maguire's Plaster RX, and this is a removes fine scratches and cloudiness. But it done my glasses well. They come up really good. So you know, a bit expensive on that front. So yeah, we got some bits. Definitely got some bits in here. So let's go and grab. I need a plate or something and mix some of this up before I even think about touching this, because you only get 20 minutes and that's it. It's game over, and then it goes rock hard and I can't move it. So I need a plate. I don't need a lot anyway. How the fucking hell is that dog managed to squeeze on that small chair? I do not know. I see some of you are actually random chat and stuff. Yeah, Andy's actually in Discord. Weren't he on the he could see me cock this up. No, it should be alright. It ain't too bad in that front. But first things first, like you said. Oh look, I went out in the kitchen, I didn't get the scissors. I'm crying out loud. Obviously, it was good last night. Obviously, I streamed up to about half past 10. Obviously, then I was late for getting up for work. You know, I thought, oh crikey, maybe I got carried away on that BBC Micro. Yeah, they're all a bit out of time. Yeah, you need to put a thin layer and let it dry, and then sand in the second layer. Well, that's gonna screw me straight up. I ain't got no sandpaper. Fucking crunk that lad. Right, okay. Mind you saying that, I have got very thin discs that I can use. Look, I suppose then I can sand it with using some of these, because some of these are really ultra fine. So it should be alright. Hopefully. I need to cut a little bit on the corners, like you said, mix some up. So that's now all ready. Right, I'm not going to mix it in a dish. I'm going to use a bit of cardboard, right? Strong bit of cardboard. So first things first, it's getting everything prepped. Look, feels like surgical gloves. I'm thinking, bloody hell, who are you going to operate on today? Pico, what was that bloody anger dye at the time of the parts and had it all mixed at the same time? I've sent you some tracking information. I've put it on your Discord. What I was going to say is, what about the drying time on this is roughly around about 20 minutes. Building this up, hopefully. That was cool last night, actually, with what was that code you sent for have I got to type that in the BBC Micro? Because I actually put it on there. Worms was laughing. I said, I'm not putting that in the BBC Micro. Have you seen how long it is? That would take forever. It was like a fucking massive long list. Self-destruction on that front. And it did say for the BBC Micro. And I went, find out loud, I will be there for a long time trying to type that code out. Yeah, no, he said destruction code. Oh, right, okay. It's a destruction code. Right, now, well, straight away, is there a way of, if I take a picture, obviously, if I take a picture, mind you, the only downside, if I take a picture of that, I've got two bloody greens here, and I don't want to get these round the wrong way. So what I need to do is label one of these, because I need this board taken off, because this is glass, and I know what happens with glass. It breaks. It won't go down too great. So let me see if I get me purple pen and mark it, and I'll mark it on the board with a Sharpie. Put a label on one. Yeah, no, that's all right. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark the wire like one side, and then I'm going to mark it on the board. Well, that didn't go down too great. Fucking hell. Right, hold up. I've got some gold pens here. Something that's fucking useless. Unless the ink's dried up, I can't even see that. Because obviously I need to. Because obviously there's two different types of greens on here, and I can't see that. It's obviously all blending in. Actually, no. I think you could be right. Where's my labels? I think that's probably going to be the best bet. If I put it on a label or something, and just label that green one on here, and then I can take a picture. White should be better. Just going to pinch that one on here, because there's two greens. Obviously this is important that you get the green round the right way. Then I could desolder this, take this out. I'll have a lot more room. Obviously these go to the speaker, but and then what I can do is mark the colour scheme, which side goes onto that speaker. It's a really weird speaker system. Right, now I can take purple and just put a little round dot, purple dot, and I can put a purple dot. Then that'll make it easier for me for where these go. So what I need to do next thing is go and grab me did you I see some of you was actually on Luke's he was streaming when he was doing an Amiga 500. The trouble is with them clock capacitors, they leak notorious, and if you don't take them out, I took my one out, and what I've done with mine, there's an alternative which Luke didn't put in the description. You can actually put in a CR32 battery, which I did. So I've done a modern mine, so it still keeps the time and date, but if the battery goes flat, it won't leak on the board. Two, it's just a normal 3.2 volt battery, so it'll do the same thing. But I'm surprised he didn't do that. He just left it off. So let me have a look at the picture. So this is how I always know I'll put it back the right way. So I'm going to put the dot with the dot, and then that way, that's perfect. So soldering iron, boot that up. Carful, have you used your soldering iron yet? I meant to ask you. Surprise, isn't it? Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, I see you on there, bud. I did see you on there. That soldering iron's bloody brilliant. So we're going to get this desoldered. I'm going to take this off because I don't want to break that tube. Once it does that, that's it. It's game. And I know my luck. I've got to get right up in here, not with this on. So what I need is a little bit of solder wick, a bit of flux. Alright, where's my flux? I always like to flux things up first. Put a little bit of flux on. I don't know where my other bloody flux is. So, bit of flux, fluxy wax. Cool. And then what we're going to do is take that fume extractor on. soldering iron. No, I just tested it quickly, but yeah, it seems alright. Oh, that's alright, top man. Now I can't put too much force on it. I've got the glass underneath. See, look, straight away that flux. Oh God, that's terrible. It's old fucking solder. It absolutely stinks. I need a better fume extractor. Fucking hell, all this is doing is just circling around and I'm breathing in toxics. Jesus. Out. That one's off. Man, that took a lot of solder off it. That's it, all off. Yeah, man, that's just took off. Really? Was that necessary? Jesus. I'm going to leave that fume extractor on because I've got to mix some chemicals up yet. Clean your tip, as Andy always says. That was at 450 Celsius. I don't like normally going too high on these old boards, but we're alright. I'm not going to bother. So now I know it was all round this section here. So we got a couple here, and then the remaining ones on here. So cool. And at least that way this don't get broke. Which I'm going to put. Actually, that's a good point. I'm going to put this away because I don't want that. I don't want that broke. Put it up there because I know what I'm like. I'm absolutely terrible at putting things down and then plonking something on there and don't see it and think, oh, for crying out loud, I've broken it. Which is not ideal. Yeah, the BBC Micro. I still ain't found the other bloody leads yet. I don't know where they've gone. I know I've got them somewhere. I found a big massive box of controllers. There must be about nearly 30 bloody Xbox 360 controllers in that box. I was just digging out one after the other. It's filled to the top, absolutely filled to the top of it. Right, cool. So, yeah, give your, go on boy, give your breath, breathe in deep. Yeah, it literally is. No, I don't use a fume extractor. I never will, but my lungs already bunged up anyway. Well, I know the feeling there, bud, so straight away. So obviously I've got to try and repair this fucking hole that some monster done on it. No, right, go on. Let's get some exercise. Thanks for this stream. And if there's any hot glue action, clip it and I'll later chat. Well, that's got rock hard now. Obviously, I can't push that out. So that fucking glue, that hot glue, has really gone rock hard. So I would say that hot glue's definitely done its job. But I can't push the fucker out. It's so much. I'm not joking. I'm putting every bit of force on there, and that hot glue has gone rock hard. So I'm gonna have to try to dig it out. Latest worms. Is Andy in the stream today? Jesus. Fuck me, that glue does sit down tight, doesn't it? There she goes. She's out. Yep, she's out now. Yeah, get the hot glue out. He loves the hot glue. He still don't beat us. He still don't beat us Gen X's. Let's turn it off for a minute. Don't need it on. I'm trying to fucking poke all this old glue out. I would say that done its job, but obviously I can get a better finish with that resin. But you can see I'm struggling trying to pull this out. Are you still in with us? I love the clips on there. Fucking hell, Jesus, that really is. Strip was an error on. Yeah, he has. He's probably lurking. Right. Well, I'll say one thing. Right, I didn't think the hot glue would hold too well, and I'm really impressed how well that stood up. What I had to do was, because of the cost was a little bit high on that package, I've posted. I couldn't find any VHSs for you, because I've still got quite a lot to go through. But I did put some of your cassettes in, and the laptops. So you've got a parcel coming your way, bud. Anyway, you've helped us out quite a bit. It's a thank you. I ain't put the power supplies in though, because it was already up to 15 kg, and it starts really ramping it up. Anything above 10, it goes up. The post goes ludicrous. And already it was up to 15, and I just had enough room to get all the laptops in the bag. There's not only a weight limit, there's also a box limit. So not the easiest, but you've got them. Mate, that glue is not coming out. That glue is seriously not coming out. I can't even find me cutters, but it's like everything, isn't it? You know, I sort everything out, and then, you know, try and make it nice and tidy, and all I end up doing is literally making more of a mess. I said, no, it's all right, bud. It's all done there anyway. I sent it off. I literally had to take the car around here. I couldn't walk around that one. That one was a bit too heavy to yeah, I think I put it on my scales. This is the reasons why I like them big heavy duty scales. And it weighed up to just over 15 kg. So she picked it up. I thought she was going to drop it. She didn't realise how heavy that was. Right, I think we got most of that out. Ooh, nasty. I wasn't happy with that anyway, because I wasn't going to get a smooth finish. At least this way, I will get a much more smoother finish on it. That was a bit of a blast from the past last night, wasn't it? The old BBC Micro. Cool. Yeah, they are really cool computers now. I really do love. I think it's a really dear. I mean, everyone loves the Spectrum because they grew up with the Spectrum, right? But the Micro really was. It's everyone's favourite. Remember, the Micro, you couldn't buy it because it was in schools only. It was only designed for schools. It wasn't designed for other people. But it was so popular, and this is what actually happened. So, if another one's cheap going about, then I'll buy it and do exactly the same what I've done on that. I'll restore it fully and keep it as a backup, because obviously these type of classic, you know, retro stuff, you're not going to obviously see it no more. I mean, I was actually quite lucky last night that all that the Atari 2600, all it needed really was just that pop. Fuck me, that's that glue. I'm not joking. This glue's done that. It's absolutely. I couldn't believe how strong that glue's bonded. It took more than 24 hours. Phillips, is that Astro Wars? No, this is the Coleco Galaxicons. So basically, they done 12 in total. I thought they only done 6. They done 12 by Coleco. They only went in business by 3 years. Then that's it. They went bankrupt. So they didn't go down too well with Coleco. Shame, because these are classed as tabletops, mini arcades. I've got the Pac-Man. But these are now becoming collector's items, like everything. So what I want to do is get all this glue off before I paste it, because it's all about, it's true what Pico said, it's all about preparation. If you don't get this right, it's all going to clog up and make a mess inside. So, which, that's what I don't want. I don't want all that clumping on the outside. I'm going to have to get the, see if I can get a razor blade on that, scrape all this crud off it on that front. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Where's my razor blades? No, my scalpel. Oh, God. Here we go. Got a scalpel. Now I'm gonna have to do it away from my fingers because I don't want to get. I do not want to get a scalpel up there. I know what that's. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna be up A&E with stitches in my hand. They've butchered this though, because this looks like this has been warped under heat, which is a shame. So I wish people wouldn't do it, because it wasn't designed to have. I know why they tried to do it, because it ate through batteries like you wouldn't believe. But it's not ideal. It wasn't really designed for it. Hold up, bud, I'll read your message. Yeah, that Luke at Retro 6, he is expensive. He really does charge for his work, unfortunately. But it's true what he said in that live stream, that self-taught, that's all it takes, self-taught and determination. I'm going for a coffee and a smoke. Be right back. Okay, bud. They'll be back on. Cool. So, right, it's that fucking glue. That glue is really, that was Worms. He said, "Now put the dry glue on it." He said, "Oh, get the glue out," and he said the glue would do it. It fucking did, I know. He weren't kidding. So I'm just trying to scrape off any residual glue, the dry glue. I think that's it. I'm still pulling bits out, but you'll see what I mean. Look. So obviously the gaping big hole, what they put the bloody thing in, stuck out like a sore thumb. So obviously there was a big blob of, they looked like they tried to use resin, but they fucked it all up in the process. And I thought, yeah, they really spoilt it. This is such a lovely little bar top, on the Gallagher one. It's even got the operating instructions how to operate it. Very rare. You're not going to get them with boxes. They're rarer than hen's teeth. They really are on that front. So I've not seen Chatfix come on for some reason. He ain't been streaming. Aaron, I like Aaron. Aaron's great. Obviously, I'm still waiting for the belt for the reel-to-reel. That's still not turned up. I bet everyone's gone in Andy's stream. Let's have a look. I bet they have. I bet Andy's streaming. No, he ain't streaming actually. I thought everyone's jumped on Andy's stream. No, he's not streaming. No, I thought they all jumped on his stream. I thought, oh, he's got some bits to do today. Right. Obviously, I think first things first, I can still see tiny little bits of glue, so this needs a little bit of a sand down. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna have to try to use some fine sandpaper, like that. Giving me a good old rub. Oh, that. That's it. See, look, it is taking it off, but you just want to key it up. I've got the black. Oh, bloody hell! I still never bought the black spray. I knew I forgot something. Well, that was good fucking disc, isn't it? Look, it snapped in two halves. But she is clean as a whistle, so I've keyed that up. So I've got most all that off. I think what I'm going to do is just lightly, just ever so lightly, mix some bits up there. So we've prepped that up. Now, before I do that, obviously I've got to block in that hole. Otherwise, it's all going to bloody fall straight through, isn't it? You know that's not going to work out, that front. So I think what I'll do, if I cut a bit of cardboard off, cut a bit of this card off, cut this out, cut a square out, put the card at the back of it, so it's at the back. So we're gonna, and I can bung some caption tape straight over. I'm not using that bloody masking tape, it's fucking super sticky. Last time I used that, I couldn't even get it off my hands. That's a laugh. Where's the mark? Yeah, now I can't find the caption tape. Obviously, yeah, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it? Fucking, it's like everything else. Put it down and you've lost it. It was so tight in that drawer, I couldn't get it out. That's literally. So what I might have to do is go and put some wider tape on. I've got some over here. Andy, hey, how you doing, my friend? So thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, so obviously I lost this last night, and then I realised I bloody put it up on the shelf up there, and it took me about over an hour trying to find it in the dark. And then this morning I found it. So I thought, right, okay, this was recommended by Pico. So this is, I've never seen this before. If you ever got any plastic repairs on, right, use some of this stuff. I've never used it, but it's a plastic resin. It's designed and it goes white. But obviously I bought some black dye and it absolutely stinks. It smells of cellulose. It even tells you on there, you know, it's hazardous, flammable. Obviously it's poison to the environment and you have to be cautious about using it. But obviously me little tabletop, someone decided when I bought it, when I actually bought this one, I didn't know that they put a bloody big, this wasn't designed for it. These Colecos were run on battery only. They wasn't designed to run a power supply. So what someone tried to do was they spliced a bloody big hole in it. Not only did they warp all the plastic, but then they tried to connect it to the battery terminals. So they tried to shove 5 volts straight in the battery. You know, brain dead, absolutely brain dead. So I thought, no, I'm gonna do it properly, put it all back. I hate things just not, if it's not stock, leave it alone. I mean, not only did they butcher these, and these are enough getting hard to get hold of now. These little toys on that front. Ace was in. He did pop in and said hello. Pico's gone for a fag break and a coffee. He'll be back in a minute, so he's still in the chat. I'll read your message in a minute, but I still ain't had me thing back yet. He says I'll receive it tomorrow. So I'll pay for 24-hour delivery, which is supposed to, that's what your intention to get. And then it tells you it turns up 2 days after. that's how ludicrous the post is. But they charge you enough for it. Lucky enough, it was only £4.45. So it weren't too bad. It's daylight robbery. Bloody postage is a joke. Swindon. Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. Hope you're all well. Pete goes in. He's probably on his coffee break. He's having a coffee break. So So I'm going to use some of this resin. I've never used this resin before, so I'm going by Pico's word on this. Hopefully we'll get a better result. I did try to use hot glue. The hot glue worked, but it weren't giving off a nicer finish. And then Pico said, don't use hot glue, take it out, get the resin in and into it. So obviously I'm backing up the hull, because otherwise it's all going to just flop through. So I just had to take a picture of all of the other bits in. I did manage to fix my Atari. So I've got one of my Atari 2600s up and running with that mod. So I did have to do a little bit of bypassing and mod it, and now it's back up and running again. So which is really great. Obviously I'm getting the surgical gloves out because I'm not getting none of this chemical on my hands. Pico come in, she said, not Pico, Worms, he said come in, he said plenty of hot glue action today. So this is now going to get interesting, because now I've got to use this gear which I've never used, so I'm going to give it a go. It's in for a penny, in for a pound. Now Pico said a little bit at a time, don't use too much of this, he said, because obviously I've got to mix raw dye in with it. Obviously I've got to put this dye in. So this is clothing dye, apparently. It says for all purpose. So that ended up being over £10, but we'll soon know. We'll put a little bit in. Now I'm gonna mix, do what he says, a little bit at a time, right? Oh, it does stink though. It smells of cellulose paint. Straight away, fucking disaster. Look, it's all over my hands. This is what I was saying about touching things, and straight away, look, it's like a stain. So yeah, this was probably a sensible move to actually try to. Before I do that, I've got to mix this up. Now this won't go off until I put the hardener in. So obviously. And I've got to try and mix this up. That feels gritty. Let's darken it down now. That feels very gritty. So only ever so slight, and he said just mix it up a little bit at a time. And it's going grey now. Yeah, it's very, very gritty. It's gone very gritty. It needs to be darkened yet. I need to get it this colour. Take that off. Hate mixing things. Obviously we're still not getting there yet, so I need to get it black. It's as black as anything, obviously, because it's going to go white, and white's no good. But I haven't seen this stuff before, so this is going to be really interesting to use. It's gone really stiff now. The only thing is, I mean, it's not gone off. Is there any scraper? Yeah. Obviously. It's not gone as dark as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be jet black in this. But hopefully it ain't too bad. The smells is tolerable because it smells of cellulose paint. And I don't mind the smell of those paint because I used to do the old car repairs, so it don't bother me. The old crash repair cars. Obviously this has gone more like a paste now, and it's getting, obviously all I'm doing is just adding to it. And this is why he said don't go mad with it. Obviously that is darkening it down, but I can't keep adding to it because it's now getting to a point where it's like putty. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to add no more to that because obviously now it's getting to that point I can't move it. It's, you know, it's clumping up. I can see what he means now. It is very messy. This gives you 20 minutes apparently. Oh fuck! I've dropped the lid. Oh gee. Yeah. You're gonna have to paint it anyway. You're right. So I'm not gonna put P size on that. Right. Obviously, don't want a lot of hardener on, so it does make sense to what you're saying. So just keep mixing it in. And that was just a little bit. Wow. I mean, that's about the closest I'm going to get to that. Just bring a little bit more hardening. I can see what you mean by wearing gloves. I think that's going to do, my friend. That's been well and truly mixed in. So I'm going to put my hand on one side. What I'm going to do is take it, because it's clumpy, right? It's shaped, right? So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my fingers to put that in, right? And that's what you said about don't mix a lot up. I can see why. Obviously it's not great, but it's like you said, you sand it down. I think once this is sanded down, I think you'll be all right. I've got a much more smoother surface using this. Obviously I've got a bit of cardboard underneath it. The trouble is with this stuff, because it's gone clumpy, yeah, don't mess with it too much. Yeah, it looks factory. Yeah, it does. I know what you mean. If the troubles with this stuff, because obviously you're at a time frame here, obviously the heat will make this set even quicker. But like doing all plastic repairs, you're working against the time, and you don't want to go too mad with it, because when you drag it, obviously you're making it, it's sort of like, you need, this is where you need a little bit of, I know it sounds daft, I've got a little drop of water, and that might do it. Just to mix that up a bit. Because sometimes moisture does help. Like that. Obviously this stuff is clumping already, and I can see the result. That's it, I've got a little bit more manageable now. And that, I'm going to leave it there. One that I can see, I'll tell you what, look, and that's with my gloves on. I'm thinking that you was right, 100% right. Now, obviously I've gone over, so it's slightly raised, ever so slight, and I've only used a little drop of water just to give it a little bit more control. But let's see if I can get rid of some of that residual. Yeah, that water helps, definitely helps. So it's giving me a little bit more control. Now I think what I'm going to do, I am going to leave that now. Right. Obviously, you're not going to fill it. You're not going to fill it all of this in. I'm not too bad when it comes to this type of stuff, so I should be all right because I've done the old bumper repairs at the end of it. I mean, like you said, you're not going to fill it all in because this stuff's started to go off already, and I can fill it. It's clumping hard. Obviously, a little bit there. I just need a little bit of that. That's it, like that. Just clump it ever so slight. And build that corner up. So it's got a nice sharp edge. I think that looks good to me. I know it looks a bit rough on the old camera, but it's as close as I'm ever going to get there. I mean, you're never going to get it perfect, but I've got it already. That's started to set. I can feel it. So I think what I'll do, leave that, right? Because once this bonds, that's it. You're probably never ever going to get that off. Now that's obviously gone to like a dark grey at the end of it, but that's obviously not too bad. I mean, it's just because of the warping of the plastic. The plastic's obviously warped due to the heat, but that ain't done too bad. So I'm going to leave it there and now take all these off and clean all this crap up. I'm fucking glad I put gloves on. That is very messy, and you was 100% right. Don't add too much. It's amazing. I only used a little bit, and it's already, this stuff's gone off. Look, it's gone rock hard already, and I only used a little bit of that. So yeah, you don't. It's like you said, don't go mad with this stuff. But that'll last me, hopefully now, quite a bit. To do another plastic repair. So just make sure the lid's all tightened down. I ain't got to come back to this now. So that's it. So as far as I know, we let that set, and then I could take the back off. But obviously 20 minutes. So it doesn't tell you the drying time on this, but obviously it does say on there it uses CO2 dry chemicals. So basically it says it's danger. Yeah, it's probably the reasons why. I should have really read that first, shouldn't I, before I put it on, but it don't matter, it's done. Now, you meant to just put it for a thin layer and then build it up as the, yeah, well, I know what you mean. Yeah. It don't matter because I put a bit of cardboard behind it. There wasn't that much to build up the layer anyway. So, but I'll just use a lot of the into the paste. But yeah, that's all right. That's done its job. How comes the Pico Tony is allowing you to dry entirely? But yeah, next time you don't use water or fiberglass. It uses thinners. Right. Okay. Yeah, thinners. I think I've got some, but I can't get to it in the balcony. You've seen the balcony; it's loaded. I still can't get to that gaming chair yet because there's all boxes, and I don't know what's in boxes. There's absolutely loads of stuff in boxes at the end of it. That water helped just a little bit, just to take the edge off. That's why I only pour a thin layer, like it was a mist. Boy, this stuff's gone hard. I don't mind the smell now because it's obviously. Fuck me, look. That's even got on my spatula. I mean, that's one of those metal spatulas on there. I see what you mean with it. You can't go mad with that gear. It's good. It does the job. Now I've got it. I mean, that will also come in handy if you've got a split on your bumper or something. and you want it to last. But that fill and dry will last forever. Yeah, it will. So I can't see why it shouldn't, because already I can see the outcome of this stuff. I mean, look, it stains everything, doesn't it? I mean, I had my gloves on, look, it still stained my finger. Lucky enough, I got it off. So what I'm going to do is clean all this up. Give me a minute, guys. That I'm going to leave, right? Obviously, it feels a bit gritty, but, and I've put a bit of cardboard at the side so it didn't all fall through. So so that's what I'm saying, Pete. I only had about that few mil, right, to work with. So I couldn't fill it up in layers anyway, because that stuff it's virtually thin as it is. So, hopefully, yeah. Tell us if you start seeing pink elephants and the smell. Well, so far so good. There's no after effects at the moment, not as far as I know. He'll literally come back and think, oh no, quick, he's coming back in it. So yeah, so far so good. So if you guys have to use do a plastic repair like I've done on here, obviously there was a gaping big hole. That's darkened down a little bit more there anyway, so that ain't too bad. But I think use a bit of satin. I'll tape it off, get it up to the line. Obviously I'll need some, you know what I need? I need some 3000 grit paper, what they use for the cars. I think I've got some around my mum's garage. So I'll pop round here tomorrow, and when I'm round there, I'll have to put a post-it note to remind me. So then I'll sand that down, and then just buy a can of satin and just give it a spray. Be done. It's true what Pico said, that ain't going nowhere. So we should be good. Cool, I can smell that cellulose, it absolutely stinks. I'm glad I put gloves on. Lucky enough, this Hoover is not too noisy, it's very quiet. The old Dysons are always fantastic, the old Dysons. And again, all this one has a problem, but managed to sort it out. It was a battery issue. Just replace the battery, it solved the problem. Squeaky squeak. Well, that bit of cardboard come in handy. Cool. Right, okay. Don't know more shit on the floor, is there? I dropped a load yesterday. Yeah, there is actually. Let me get that quick over. Right, well, obviously, that is now waiting to dry. I can put all this back in. I've scraped all the residual crud off it. Put that back on. So, that one tub, it's true what you said, Pico, that'll last a lifetime. Obviously, there's no, is there an expiry date on this? Yeah, it does. Best use it before. Well, obviously, I'm not going to use all that. Best before 2007 and 2026. So this does have an expiry date. Oh well, I mean, at the end of it, I mean, for what it costs to do a small repair, if it does the job, I'd say it's worth the money. So on that front, let's just grab a little bit of IPA and wipe this off. Wow, fuck me, it's even stained the metal. I mean, this is stainless steel. What would it do to your fingers? It's probably just why they say to you. This is my mum's tea towel. Well, she won't get that back, will she? Poor mum's towel. She won't know. I mean, she kept asking for it. She said, "You see me tea towel?" No, she don't watch my stream, so she wouldn't know anyway. So she don't know how to use YouTube. Oh, I'm not going to show her either. She'd come back and say, "I'll fucking brain you. That was one of my new towels." Well, yeah, but it makes a great cloth to work on. Yeah, look. Now it's a couple of sprays, look, and I managed just to get my, and that's stainless steel. And it just about got that off. So, anyway. Yeah, no way you're going to get that out with, what's that stuff that they use on it? Silic Bang. And the stain is gone. Well, I don't think you're going to get Silic Bang's going to get that out somehow. It's just no way on God's green earth that's going to happen. So yeah, that's all right. She won't know. Mum's the word. Yeah, literally, mum's the word. Well, I'd rather have the smell of cellulose than the smell of farts when that dog keeps dropping one. Because he did drop one again last night, and it went through the roof. The smell was just it was unbearable. And I went, he's got something wrong with his insides. A dog shouldn't smell like that, you know, especially if you definitely dropped a clanger. That don't seem normal in that front, and obviously it didn't. I thought, blimey. So yeah. I think that's going to be all right, you know. Obviously, you're looking at the front of it. Look, I've not raised it. I've kept that dead flat. And like you said, it's sort of gone like a semi-dark grey, a really dark grey. Obviously, give this time tomorrow. I'll leave that a full 24 hours for it to cure, and hopefully we can come back to it and we should be good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the board and this back up on that shelf and leave it. Fuck me, look, I've still got the dye on my hands. Obviously, don't want to drop after. I nearly dropped all the bloody screws out of that on that front. Let me put these gloves back on. Absolutely stinks. There's motion at your front door. Hold up. Oh, speak the devil. This could be one of some of my other stuff. Well, that's handy. Just said there's motion at your front door. So, let me open it up and see what it is. I can't remember. I'm still waiting for parts. Bloody, it was a bit late today. Posty. Yeah, you don't need to wait 24 hours. Oh, right, okay, bud. Look, who's wrapped this up? I mean, seriously, come on. You've gone through all the trouble of... I don't even know how they've managed it. They've sort of like tucked it in. Oh, this is the RAM. Oh, right, okay. Well, we can put the RAM in. We could do a RAM upgrade. This was the 8GB Pico, the one you recommended. So, obviously, it was the last one and all. She took a little bit of a dive on that. I said, will you take 15 plus the postage? And she accepted. So, oh, and good news, right? Let me show you. I've got to go and drive to pick it up. It's over in Walthamstow. It's about a 24-minute drive from where I am. And where is it? If I go to eBay, I've submitted an offer. I found a record player identical to mine, but it's got a problem. But look at the price difference, right? I'm just putting here bids and offers, right? It's £23. Yeah, kid you not, £23 I've put on there to buy it now because she wants 26, right? Now it's the exact same record player. It's all complete, right? It has got a problem for parts not working. And I'll read out the description what it says. It says the Bush record player, bought new in 1967, was owned by my family since. It powers up and plays, but with significant distortion, hence being sold suitable for spares or repair. So this has been bought in 1967. This record player is older than me on that one. So it says, for only further external side, the stud remains the exterior. So for the condition, its size and its age. So, and I found that purely by accident. And I obviously it's in Loughton. So it's about a 25-minute drive up the road from me. So obviously not too bad. So obviously I will definitely say, and it's the exact same one. It's identical. It comes with all of the manual in this one. So it's got the original stylus. So this one, even if I can salvage bits off this to get on that, but it would be nice to try and say that was working. Now it's got a loud hum. If that's got a loud hum, the chances are it probably would be, it won't be capacitor related. That's obviously going to be something like a transformer related. So absolutely spot on find of purely coming up to that, because it would be nice to salvage to get one fully working properly, but this was fully working properly. So even if I can try and take bits out of that to get that one done, or vice versa, it doesn't matter. It still will be a win-win, because obviously this has got a loud hum. Well, what causes loud hums? To me, the only thing that causes loud hums is the power amplifier, you know, on that front. I think that would be bad caps or not filtering, but yeah, it could be. So again, capacitor related. So it's interesting that I might be able to whip the caps out, plonk it straight in here. Obviously that one's having struggling to try and turn the track on that front. So yeah, I'm thinking that we need to, what I need to do, if I win the bid on this, obviously it's buy it now. It's not like a thing on it, and then I'll go down there and go and pick that up, and that'll be again future video which I'll stream, and I'll probably take the caps back out of that one that I put in and sling them straight in this one, and then see if that fixes the hum issue, because that one was fully working. If she bought that brand new, the chances are that's not been modified or mucked about with. Obviously be in the same boat, because you won't get the capacitors for them. So that could be a bad cap not filtering, yeah. So like I said, capacitors do have a big issue of filtering. That's why it's not just for swapping out for your board first. Yeah, well, yeah, there that might be. Just unsolder it and just plonk it straight on to see if it rectifies the problem. That's true. We did get a loud thing on that. So, but what I'll do first, if I win the bid on that, I'll take the original needle out, plonk it straight in mine to see if that is needle related, because that wasn't picking up too great for some reason, and I don't know why. That could be down to the stylus, because it did feel, but then the stylus was only doing its job, didn't it? I don't know. Remember, you can't buy these bloody styluses for these. Well, still ain't received my bloody belt that I asked for. She sent it second class. If I don't receive it by Monday, I'm just going to have to open up the resolution and get my money back and get it off someone else. Because I'm in a time frame with sending stuff back from eBay. Otherwise, once you go through that, you can't get your money back. Well, they put it in an anti-static bag with a plastic bag with an anti-static bag. So yeah, it does make good. So this is one, it says on there, this is used obviously from this one. Now this was DDR3 but one 8GB stick. So this will take the 4 stick, the 4-1 board on that, and we'll. But yeah, I've come across that purely by accident. I was in Greg's having a vegan sausage roll and a cup of coffee, and as I was browsing through, and I went, bloody hell, look at this! This is identical. Look how cheap it is. But obviously, you've got to go and pick it up. That's probably why there's hardly anyone watching. So yeah, we've got this one stick to sling in. So obviously, there's 4 on each side on these ones. So we've got 4. So we've got 8 modules on there because these are the RAM, and then 8 on that side. So that would give you your 8 gigabytes. So that must be 4 gig each side on that front. But yeah, okay, that's cool. I always like the anti-static bags because it stops things from shorting out. So that's started to dry out. Look, yeah, I can actually see it. It's going lighter now. So I thought, right, if we leave that, give that a couple of hours, you're probably right. We can come back to that. So first things first, just move this. Oh, that was impeccable timing. Literally impeccable timing. Can't believe that I was literally just finished that, and then the postman turned up and me ran. Now, if I remember correctly, this was a right bugger to take apart. So, obviously, this is not going to be for the... This wasn't easy to take apart last time. It just wasn't. It really put up a fight. So, but I upgraded, obviously, to a terabyte drive up front. Right, well obviously I don't need the scissors now, so that's out of the question. Just put them back in the kitchen because I'm going to lose them. Right, put the RAM to one side. And the stickers. Where's my spades? Because obviously I'm going to need these things to take this apart again. So I've got to take all this back off by the looks of it. There ain't nothing sharp on there, is there? I don't want nothing sharp, you know, scratching the screen. So, oh yeah, this is why I left this off, because I knew I had to get to this. I just knew it. Hopefully we can get some. You know what it is? It's true. You said the other day, trying to get parts for this retro stuff is going to be the most hardest challenge going, because obviously it's still a repair to a certain degree, but it's obviously not an easy repair because you're going to need parts and salvaging parts. Oh no, not these. Trying to salvage parts from bits like the old vintage record players, it's not going to happen. It's just not. Now this one's putting up a fight now. Fucking hate these screws. They're a nightmare. They're absolutely. No, yeah, that one's. It's now loose. So I'm not putting that one back in. That's 2 for 2. That these get literally start getting stripped. Right, cool. Hopefully that will be the last time I'll ever have to try and undo it, because that is, you know, absolutely joke. So obviously I've got to undo all of this and take that one out. I've got to take these out, take the 4 screws out. That should make a difference. Jumping that giving that extra 4 gig will make a big difference in Windows, because obviously Windows does need, it's very resourceful. It takes a lot on your resources on there with your processing count. So I would rather just dump another. Obviously, it's only got one module in here, which is not great. Because if that had 2 modules, I could have kept the 4 in and dumped the 8 in, and that would obviously give me, you know, a lot more than what I needed. So we're gonna have to do the exact same again. Try and pop. I've got to try and pop this, which obviously I've got to get underneath. These what bastards to actually do. These wasn't the easiest. You know, like that. Obviously you can't put too much because you'll crack the screen. But that's obviously undone the top. So I've undone the top there. Carol. Oh, for crying out loud. I hate taking things apart. Working on computers are absolutely a nightmare. It's that bloody clipping system that they use on here. It's crap. There's no other clips on it. It's just barely down to clipping in. It's what sandwiches it just holds everything together. Now she's off. Right, first things first, let's take that USB out. Right. See what we call there. Now I won't put all this back together. I'll test it out because obviously you see the struggling I had trying to get these in. So first things first, let's take that module out. Right, put the module on there, sling the module in. She's in. It's made by a different company on here. This one's Explodio. This one's got China written on it. That one's got made in Tehran. So obviously this got 2026 at the end. It doesn't say anything else on that front, but well, obviously we can plug that in. We plug this back in just to see, and then what we do, we'll get the power supply. I'll have to scrub that out and put 4 GB or something. Otherwise, I think that's an 8 GB stick, and it ain't. It's a 4 GB stick. So where's the? Let's grab the power supply. Where's the bloody power supply? Right. I like everything here now. Now, as usual, put things down. Let's have a look, because I can't fucking see anything. It still looks dark in here. I'll put it somewhere. It was on the corner. So I thought, no, because I've got to come back to it. And I want to test that PlayStation steering wheel. So I'll need to set up a PlayStation 2 properly, so I can test that steering wheel with a game. Obviously I'll put it all back. Oh here, it's right in front. It's right in front of me. I couldn't see it because it was tangled with all the other stuff. What a crank. Right, there you go. We got there in the end. Cool. Andy. So, hello, gents. It's Chris. How you doing, buddy? I've already done it, Pico. Been delivered back to chill and relax. Yes, that was the mod. Thanks to Andy, because you know, obviously, they're not the easiest to do. I'm not confident of doing it myself. Obviously, you know, I mainly deal with computers and retro stuff, so I'd rather. I don't really want to dabble. I mean, even with computers and learning retro stuff, there's still electronics involved. But because there's too many channels with doing other repairs, doing similar things like JFix, Ace, Rusty Russ, as well as Andy. You know, Andy does a little bit of everything. So that's what I like about Andy's channel, because he don't just dedicate it on one item. JFix seems to be concentrating on laptops at the end of the day, which is cool. You know, stick to what you're comfortable at the end of the day. Try not to go outside your boundary, because it's true what Andy said, it's not everything is fixable. You know, don't run away with the idea that, you know, you're like that Luke at Retro 6 at the end of the day. You think that he only deals with consoles. He does do a bit of all the other stuff, but he's more dedicated now to do mods and consoles, because he feels comfortable at doing it, and he earns good money, which is right. So it does make sense. So it's nice to everyone have a unique market to actually think that stick to what you actually know already. Now I don't want to touch this because this is going to be live, so I'm going to have to roll this up. Switch this on. We got a light. Yeah, we got a green light. Cool. And now obviously this should detect with 8 gigs of RAM. Should. I ain't got to go in the BIOS and set it up. It should detect on the BIOS. The BIOS, the CR32 clock battery is reading 3.2, so it's actually still quite good. It's not dropped any voltage, so there's no point me replacing it. Shouldn't have to wait too long. They're pretty good at booting up on these. But yeah, I need the software now. If once this is done, I need the software to run a jukebox. I'm gonna do some investigation. I'm pretty good at looking for some bits like that. So I'm gonna see what I can try to run with that side. So, well, that's it. That's booted in. So first things first, we'll click on that and we'll see. I'll have a look, hold it down, and then go to properties, and that should take me straight up to see if this is detected or not. And already straight away we have got 8 gigs of RAM. So installed RAM 8 gig. So Windows takes about 20% of its usable. It will never give you the true value of what this is. If I bring it down, you guys can actually see. So you can actually see it right there. Installed RAM 8 gig, and it actually usable is 7.89. It has to keep some in its virtual memory, so that's why it takes a little bit off. You can get that fully back, but you've got to muck about with files, and I'm not going around that. And potentially brick windows, so that front. But yeah, it's fine. We've got 8 gigs. The main thing is we got 8 gigs right there, so we haven't got no issues on that whatsoever. And we've also got, looking at that, we've still got the 1 terabyte drive, which is nice. So I would say that is a win. So we shouldn't have to do anything else to that now, except for put it back together. And I'll make a note that it's got 8 gigs installed and a 1 terabyte drive. If I actually got the right one to actually fit this, because this is where these little mini, I think they're like a little mini NV2s on that. These are super expensive. To buy 1 terabyte one of them at that size, I'm going to be spending probably close to about 60, 70 pounds. It won't be worth it. I'd rather just do the modification, done what I've done now, because you're trying to keep your costs down. You don't want to go too mad at the end of the day. I mean, that would be the ideal scenario, because then you could take all this out and put it straight back to stock and just install this operating system. I would clone it, put that in a dock, which I've got one over there, and then use a bit of software to clone the info off that straight onto the other drive. And then that way you ain't got no issues then of worrying about reinstalling Windows and everything, because all your drivers are on there for the Windows settings. So, but the main thing is, she's let me give me 1 minute, guys. Let's have it. Hello, mate. Yeah, sorry, I'm in the stream. What's that? I can't get that film. Yeah, go on in. Pass it over. Alright, mate. No worries, bud. Speak to you later. Sorry, mate. No, unfortunately, I couldn't get it. It just got stuck there. It won't move. Yeah. No, I couldn't get it. It just sat there, and I couldn't get it anywhere else. So no, it was a no-go situation on that. A bit gutted, to be honest. One of them things. You can't guarantee everything, you know. But yeah, all right. Text us that over, Gal, and I'll have wash stained on it, and I'll get going on it. Right, okay. He wants another film done. Go for films. Right, okie dokie. So the main thing is, so yeah, Chris F. So yes, thanks for turning up, Chris, in the stream. So yeah, basically, I would say all I could basically now do is put all this back fully now, and I ain't got to worry about it, the situation. Got to be careful because I don't want to crack the screen putting it, but that only took 2 minutes actually putting that RAM in, and that does make a big difference, because not only does that speed up the process, it makes Windows quicker as well. So it kills two birds with one stone. And I need to get this bloody tape off. What the fuck was they thinking of? They've used masking tape, and masking tape just goes brittle. It's like, you know, and it's just stuck to it. So right, okay, he's putting it right. Holy cow! Right, now I've got to be careful on that. Right, the RAM's in. Just got to be careful with that wire, that don't get caught up. Because obviously the top on this was a bugger to get on. So you've got to go bottom first, because otherwise you won't get the plate in. Once you got that in, I think then it was the top one that I had issues with trying to get this in. Yeah, it was the top. I had to use, if I remember correctly, I had to force it over. Like that, and then pop it over. That dog's farted again. He keeps farting. He's not normal. I don't know why dogs keep farting. Is it why dogs keep dropping their guts while you're trying to do something? They always do it, don't they? Always. Guarantee it. This is not hard to get in. It's that top one. These top ones are a nightmare trying to get in. Like, you've got to push them in. So first things first, I hate that now, because when you're putting pressure on something, this is what causes the damage. So let's take that out. Let's get that out of the way. It's the only thing with that bloody stuff on it. obviously what's pushing it is that drive. It's obviously sticking up ever so slight, and it's enough to put pressure. So you've got to push that one right in, like that. Hold that one in, and I've got to do the same in this one, if I remember correctly. Hold that one in, and then tease it in from the top, and then it's snapped in, like that. Obviously put the bottom ones in. Bottom one's gone near enough in. Cool. Right, that one's in, that one's in. So I've got 2 top in. So all I've got to do now is get these sorted out. So I think, oh, the bloody thing's froze. Sorry guys, I've seen it. That camera keeps freezing. It really does get on my Alan Wick. 4K camera. Deactivate, activate. There you go. It drives me nuts. As soon as I, for some reason, if I pull it down towards, it'd be fine. Right, that's in. That side's in. That's actually quite cool. That's in. So I can put this one in. I can't believe we're nearly out of this month already. It's gone round so bloody fast, it's unreal. So what it is, I've got to try and guide that in. This one's tapered, right? So if you look at this is obviously the wireless dongle we use, but it's tapered on one side, so it's making it really difficult to get in. It's supposed to have gone the other way, but it won't, because then it'll hit against it. So it has to be flipped upside down. Which yeah, buggers. I've got to be careful in it because that is not going in. You're fucking bastards. Yeah, that's definitely not slopping in. Because it's, yeah, I can see what it's doing. It's actually, it is hitting. So I might have to try and use an extension adapter because of that slope. There's not enough wide gap here to allow that to be slotted in. Again, what I could do is just put it underneath, problem solved, and then I won't have the issue. Yeah, see that, and that one goes up the right way. This one's flipped upside down. That's why it's making it difficult getting that little tight narrow gap, and I don't want to end up bugging that port up. So the only one I've got to put back now is this top piece here, because it's obviously bowed because of that snapping situation. The side's gone in. That one's in. Just got to do this one. There you go. It's all snapped back into place, right? So absolutely crystal clear. So we've got it all the sides in, bottoms in, and that side in. Oh, didn't see that side. It just sticks out ever so slight. I think it's just the way it's clipped, but it's in. The main thing is she's in, so I can put all this back now officially. Right, cool. fucking computers, they're a bloody nightmare to try and get on. Especially these. This is why these all-in-one PCs, these are an absolutely headache, because again, not sitting right. You've got to line it up and then just put them, you know, hopefully the screws will line up. Because one of these screws is wrong. That's it. Like that. Cool. I'm not putting that other one back, because it'll start stripping the bloody heads on these, and that's it. Now for some reason that's not going back in, and that looks like it's been partly stripped, so okay, leave that one out. There you go, she's in. Cool. Now I can put the back officially back on this, so I ain't got to take this off. Obviously, a couple of these lugs broke off. That's it. She's back on. Dusty, but she's back on. So now, let's take the power supply, plug it back in, give a final test, make sure she is fully working. Well, that's a RAM upgrade anyway. So, and these all-in-ones are always been a bit of an headache to work on, because, like I said, it's accessibility. These ain't the easiest to work. Like most PCs, if it was a desktop PC, then it wouldn't be so bad. Right. Hopefully. Now we can fire up properly. We got green light? No, we got no green light. Oh. Does that mean that's not pushed in properly? No, it is on. Oh, alright. No. Here we go. See what I mean? This is what always worries me with these bloody PCs. You put them back together, and then they decide they don't want to work. Absolute headache. You disturb them, that's it. That is in its groove. Make sure. No, that's right in. That is right into that. Now it doesn't want to boot up. Wow. Obviously, there's no power on the thing. Oh, it would help, wouldn't it? Look, that's why. The bloody cable is now hanging out. There you go. Now she powers up. So the cable thing was half hanging out. I thought, for crying out loud. PCs. It was that. Wasn't pushed right in. Hopefully this should be alright. This should be fully working on that front, and I should have the dongle side, so that's it. I mean, that's how quick it boots in anyway on that front, but double check where the properties. We can come out of that. 8 gigs. Well, that's cool. So yeah, it's seen that. And have we got the 1 terabyte? We have. 1 terabyte is usable. That front. Have we got internet? Yeah, got full internet due to the dongle on there. So obviously, one good aspect. Just click onto me hub, and then that's it, done. I mean, that to me, I thought, why did it work? I thought I've only put it together. It should be like that. Fun. Car 4. Oh, PD's in. Hi, PD. PD, I'm glad you're in. Can you put in? Can you send it on my page? I want to download it. I like that one that and someone clicked at PDD, you little shit. I want to add that into my stream ones. Yeah, great stream. It was actually quite good to actually see a bit of a bonus there to see. Yeah, it's the shit one. That's it. Yeah, put it if you mind adding that one. I want to add that one in. That's brilliant. I absolutely love that. That one that cracks me up. So Borat should work. Borat should work. In theory, it should. Again, we did try to set up Borat. Yeah, I'm. No, of course you're not. You're one of our great streamers, actually. But absolutely love it. It's not working. No, see what I mean? Now, this is what I'm saying. We got it working yesterday. It's not working today. So why is that? And Borat's turned on. If you know, I don't get it.
Whoa,
If I click on it, it comes up. So we get Borat working on that one, but only if I turn it on. So obviously again,
King in the
we're having
castle,
an
king
issue
in the
of
castle.
it's always
Have a
OBS.
chair, have a
I hate
chair.
these things set up because they're an absolute nightmare.
Go do
to try
this,
and
go
set
do
up.
this. King in the castle.
The streamer bot open to is connected. Yeah, actually, let me give me 1 minute, and let me have a quick look. I'm going to actually see if that is the case. You need to open the streamer bot each time. Right, that's why it's not working, which it's not. So that's clearly why it's not right. I'll remember that. Thank you. It's now it's booting up. So what I'll do, 202 is now connected. So now what I'll have to do, right? I'll turn it off on the OBS. Type that in again, and it should now work. Yeah, that comes up. So right, I'll bear that in mind. In future, remember to turn on streamer bot.
King in the castle,
Lovely,
king in the
jubbly.
castle.
Well, I'm glad this
Have a
is
chair,
up and
I have a
running.
chair.
So now the next task is on this.
Go do this, go do.
The next task on this is obviously going to be jukebox software. Obviously, now I've done the modifications on this, will be great. Obviously, I've got to update it. It's Windows 10. It's probably going to say end of support in that front. I mean, it should be able to still be able to connect to the internet, which I can't see why it don't, because look, it connects it straight up. So connecting on the internet side is not going to be an issue. The software is going to be the issue, and I want a nice interface, and then I can dump all my MP3 entire library, and I've got 42,000 songs with album after album, and that will be then a great interface. Winamp, yes. So yeah, use Winamp. That is one of them. There's a couple on there on that front. It really kicks the. I like that. It really kicks the Liana's arse, doesn't it? That I know it's an old software, but it will run perfect on here. So, I mean, obviously, it wasn't. This was only going to be into the electronic waste department, which I've saved it from there. So the upgrade that I've just done on the RAM works really well. So obviously, it was worth doing on that front. So now I can turn this off and then go to shut down. Shut down. Good. That is now officially finished. No more scenarios. I've literally got to wait till the green light goes out, otherwise. Obviously, these put me in mind of the Hewlett Packard. The Hewlett Packard had a massive one, a bit like the iMac, what I've got up here. The Hewlett Packard was all touchscreen, so it was all in one, which I wasn't. They're all right, but you can't really. These are not dedicated to play games. Comparing this was a till because it's got Dino Order written on it. So, you know, obviously, I've done the conversion and putting Windows on. It normally just, I mean, you could run Linux. Linux will run on this, fine, absolutely, end of the day. So, this one's done, officially working, right? I haven't got to piss about with that, no more there. So, no more worrying about trying to find drives on it. let's go back to. I'm glad that's done because that did solve a lot of the issues on that. So let's go back to this for a minute. Let's have a quick look. Obviously, I have to be careful because these glass tubes, you break them, that's it. It's good night. Yeah, I have a very lightweight custom Win 10. It runs 1 GB of RAM. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. You're using something like Windows Tiny, which you can. Windows Tiny it's a stripped version of Windows 11 build. Basically, what it does, it strips all of the bare basics out, and you can just run it on a custom 1 GB. You can run it. It is known. Not too bad. What you have to do, you have to create a custom ISO, so it boots into that custom ISO. So you need a couple of files to run that at the end of the day. But yeah, doable. Definitely doable, bud. On that front. Obviously, that's dry already. So what we need to do. Let me grab. Where's that melamine? Yeah, that's actually a good point. I forgot about this. The old magic sponges. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. That front. It's rough as it. You know what? That's really rough. But like you said, I think that's where you said you need the sanding paper on that, Pico, and take that down. So I should be able to take, in theory, I should be able to take that off now. The only downside is it's stuck to the bloody cardboard at the back of it. No, it ain't. All right. So, and we got a nice little patch underneath because obviously I used the shiny side, which helps with that. But you're not going to see that inside anyway, and that's actually quite clean. The only downside is, obviously, I need to sand this down. I mean, obviously, I've got some of that out, but there's, you know, it's like you said, you're not going to get it 100% perfect, but you're going to get it a lot better than that anyway. On that front. But she is as good as you're ever going to get it. I'm still going to leave it 24 hours because I've got other projects to get on with at that front. I'm just grateful that that is now done, and I ain't got to come back to this again. Project out of the way. It's done. As far as I know, just sand that down. I'll mask and take that off, right? And I'll go and get some tomorrow if I remember. Some black satin. Sand that down a bit. 3000 wet grit, and just mask and tape it off and spray it over. Done. To me, that's it. This is another project out of the way, and I ain't got to worry about it. It just bugged me because it was stuck on the side. It was a bit like a you know when you whack your thumb and it goes black and blue. It just stood out like that. It wasn't great. I wasn't happy with it, you know. And I know it was only sitting at the side, but obviously when you're taking it out, you don't want to see that. Someone's done a modification and obviously ballsed it up completely. So, well, that is another win. So we've got 2 wins straight away. So again, that stuff works quite well. So yeah, well recommended, Pico, on that front. And that, and definitely that, to me, it's done its job. So that one can go up there with all the other wonderful stuff. I still can't do the reel to reel because obviously they've sent it second class, and I don't like second class stuff. It just takes forever. And obviously I've got to now wait because I could have finished that off. That's another unfinished project that I want done on that front. So, which is really a bummer. Now, obviously, where's the laptop? I found this is one of the other laptops I wanted to keep. Found a power supply for it, but I ain't booted this up for so long. I forgot what this one was. No. Let's give her a power up. Well, it would have switched it on. I like to keep one laptop at least, so I can do a bit of work on it. You know, if I need to dump anything else in it. Don't even know what's in. I don't know the spec on this because to me it's an unknown. It was just slung in there with all the other laptops. I'm just glad they're all gone. It ain't made no difference. You know, the corner's still junked up. You know, but it's to me, I'm gradually decluttering as I'm going along. I did find some mistakes. Look, and I found Shaking Stevens. So I was listening to a bit of that today when I was walking around the market, actually get a bit of fruit and veg. And I was listening to a bit of Shaky. Classic. Nice bit of Shaky. Can't beat a bit of Shaky. And then went back to the old Laura Anderson. So yeah, absolutely classic. I love a bit of Laura Anderson. So Shaky Nights. Run, dig, digger. Yeah. We need a plastic primer. I've got a plastic primer. I used it. I've done. I probably will do that. Put the plastic primer on first, let that dry, and then spray it after. Because otherwise, it won't stick. You're right. It's all got to be keyed up, but I still need to key it all up first. It's a very yeah. So glad you mentioned that. Actually, DD is literally. Otherwise, I would have forgot all about it and just dumped the bloody stuff on it. I thought, no, you've got to have a plastic primer. I forgot, because otherwise, how's it going to stick? Laptops. Why are laptops so slow? It's like, this is what I said about RAM. If it recommends minimum of 4 gigabytes for Windows at the end of it, but it's so bloody slow. Some of them, my one don't. It's just like, it's 10 seconds. It's ludicrously quick. It's a bit like that soldering iron at the back. It runs really fast. This still ain't loaded in. Wow. I might have to run some scripts on this. If I can run a couple of scripts, I might be able to speed the performance up by 20%. Which I probably will. No, it's still loading in. Wow. Now it's loaded in. Fucking Jesus. That's a massive delay. I'm definitely going to have to run something on that to speed that up. So I'll use my magic on that. Go on the website and I'll de-bloat it. Take some of that crap off. And that. It's still loading in. God, truth. This looks like Windows 11. It is Windows 11. This is not Windows 10. I don't even know. I think it's got about 4 gigs of RAM. Shouldn't take that long. It's probably not been booted up for months, so it's probably going to be updates on it. Right. So, right click. Come on. Be great. Finally, we can get somewhere. Fucking Jesus. Yeah, this is slow as hell. This really is slow. I think this could do with a RAM upgrade. I might have to do a RAM upgrade. 4 gigabyte. Yeah. It's an Intel Celeron CPU 107U. At the 1.5 gigahertz, so it ain't got the fastest processor at the end of the day. So I would definitely say it could do with a RAM. DDR3 RAM for laptop. It's going to be 2 modules on here. The chances are it's going to have 2 gigabyte modules. So ideally, I really want this to be at least minimum of 8 gig. So obviously 2 4s will be fine on that. So I'll have a butcher's and see what they're coming up, because RAM at the moment is going pretty pricey for PCs. It's gone through the roof. I don't know why on that front. System operate 64-bit. Right, Windows 11 Home Edition. It's on 24H2, so obviously that's a bit behind. Obviously it's 25H2 out, so it needs updating. But before I update, if I update that now, it would just take forever, and it'll just take ages and ages. So I think for the time being, this needs RAM upgrade before I even attempt to try and do anything else to that. I didn't even taste, how big was that drive? What we got? We got a 500 gig hard drive in this one. Right, okay. Right, well, there's a little bit of upgrading. First thing I'll just say, dump some more RAM in there. I have got a big box of RAM. I don't know if I'm going to have DDR3. I could have a quick look. It wouldn't hurt to have a quick look on that front. Because I always like to keep a big box of RAM. Because, like I said, RAM's always handy in that front. Got some assortment RAM modules. Yeah, cool. Let's take that off. DDR3. I don't know if I'm going to have any DDR3. You see how many PCs I work on, and I've got modules. No, this is PC 2700. No, can't use that. DDR. No, that's DDR. Can't use DDR. It's be DDR3. Kingston. I don't even know what this one is. 256. Nope, no good. Can't use that. These look like the really old types. These are PC2s at 512 megabytes. Nope, can't use that. Nope, you know I'm not going to have any. Hynix ones again. PC2s. No, can't use it. I'm not going to have any, am I? Out of all of that lot, I'm not going to have any. No. Too old. I've got 1 gigabyte. Nah. PC2. For crying out loud. No. 1 gigabyte. No. No. It's too old. What we got in here? DDR, no. PC, that's the 2100s, can't use that. We've got some old IDE drives here. What's these ones here? These have got to be the same. No, too old. That's the DDRs. Oh, there's a bloody remote there. What's the remote doing in here? Right, what's this one on here? I can't even see it. It's covered up. Great, lovely. 2 gigabyte PC2s. No, can't use that. No, it's DDR. Okay, it must be full old RAM. And then that's without. 256 DDR. No, can't use none of them. Absolutely. No, so it looks like it's going to be a no-go. So these are RAM sticks, obviously out of the old type on there. I don't even know if these work. They normally are pretty bad. Oh yeah, look, this one's got bad written on it. I must have tested it and went bad. So some of these will go bad. So no, none of them is a no-go. Regardless, that's a pisser, isn't it? So now I can't use him. Fine. All these bloody remotes now. I don't know where all these remotes coming from. They can go in the box. No, I'm not pulling all that out. Definitely not pulling all that out. There ain't no more in there, is there? They're just cases and other bits and pieces. Right, cool. So, regardless that I've got a big box of RAM, it's a no-go for upgrading on that. Didn't think so, because DDR RAM, all in PC types, you've got all different types. You've got thin, longer. Some are centered, some are off-pinned, some on the other side. Oh, there's so many makes and models. Don't have to make red swim. So, that's a no-go, but that's rubbish. That could go in the rubbish. So I can't upgrade that. Obviously, this is rubbish. Don't need that now because that was for. Oh, mind you, it's got a little bit. It's not a lot there, is it? No, can use that. Cool. Okay. That was obviously for the RAM module, and I'm glad that's done because now that's sorted. I can now sort out what you're after. DDR3 laptop RAM. I need two 4 gig sticks to push it up. I have around about 5. Jesus, and I thought I had some. Not as many as that, my friend. Definitely not. Yeah, DDR3 on that. It's going to be laptop RAM. I'll need 2 4 gig sticks. If you've got any, but if you've got to go around sorting it out for 500 sticks, I would say you're going to be there for a long time trying to sort that out, because I didn't realise you had that amount. Wow. And I thought I got through some PCs as well on that front. Obviously I've got this is the one that I took out from the other stick, and I can't use this one. This is not DDR3. This is 4 gig on that front. I don't know. Mind you saying that, you can't always let me know which one you need. So I'll DDR3 or PC. No, DDR3 for laptop. So it's going to be like these type of modules. Sort out. I've got a 4 gig stick here. What I've just took out. I'll take the back off of that quickly and have a quick gauges and see what one it is exactly. It won't hurt to have a quick look. Obviously you've got to undo 4 million screws. I'm supposed to do his bloody disc. Oh, it looks like I took the back of this off already. Oh right, really? I must have, because there's no bloody screws in it. Oh, for crying out loud. So it's just clipped. Right, okay. Well, that makes my job easier. Obviously, the only downside is you've got to be careful of trying to part ways. You know, 500 sticks. Why don't they make laptops easy to take apart? Why do they have to make things so complicated and over-engineer it? It's the only thing with laptops. I hate taking them apart. When you start hearing the crackles and the pops and the things on it, you think you're going to break it. It don't sound natural. Can I take that drive out? Hold up, if I remember correctly on these, sometimes the keyboard has to come out and it screws underneath it. But I don't think there is on this. I think it's just the way they've done it. They've manufactured it like it. Got to open it up. It just, these are so finicky. God almighty. Look at this already. Look. This is a prime example. You can't just take it out and swap it over. Look at the crap you've got to go through trying to take just to get to the RAM module. It's absolutely it's a diabolical joke, and I kid you not. All laptops are different. Now you can't just lift that up. You've got to rip the cable out, and already I've got to lift that up, pull that out, and I've also got to pull, careful here, because I've got the clip for that one. That's got to come out. Now she can. I've got another one at the back here. That's got to be lifted up. That can come out, and then she can come out. All that just to get to literally, because obviously that's all the touchpad. Yeah, they made it easy, you know. I mean, they totally have made that easy to gain access to it. It's stupid. You can't just take the back off because it's an all-in-one piece. Really? I mean, it's clean, but the RAM's going to be underneath. So I've still got to take all this off so I've got to take all that off to gain access to the RAM. Wow. I mean, that's unbelievable. Yeah, and this is Asus, you know. This is why laptops are always a bit of an headache to work on. So I've got to take all this, I've got to strip it all apart just to gain access to the RAM module, which is going to be on the other side. Now, who thought that was a great idea? Really, I should test it. I should test the integrity of this drive, because I know these drives do go bad, and like all of these mechanical drives, it's the power cycle counts, and then that's it. They start stressing out at the end of the day. I've never, in all the years, I've never had to moan about taking things apart. But to get to a simple device, why would you put that underneath where there's no access point? There's no physical access point here to gain access to the RAM modules. None. No shield. Should be a cutout. You shouldn't have to go through the oops of what I've just done here just to get access to this board, to flip it out. Now I've got to undo all these screws and disconnect everything just to flip her over so I can gain access to it. Wow. So I'm going to have to try and be very careful here. Hell, you can't even get anything. You can't even get a bleeding spatula in it. Take the screws out. Are they all the same? They look it. Yeah, they are all the same. That's all right. I can plonk them all up. Look, I didn't like mixing them up just in case there's different lengths. I've got to take all of the arrow ones out just to flip this over. Yeah, they are all the same. All right, fine. This is where the old little screwdrivers do come in handy on that front. Because I won't know what module it is. I'll need the exact module. So it has to be come out anyway. But I've never had to take this off before. Not just to get to the RAM on it. Right, take that out. Obviously, we've got black on there, main antenna. We can flip that over. It should. And it feels like that's being held in by something, and I don't like forcing these up because I know what they're like. There ain't no screws, there ain't no other screws holding this in. So this shouldn't be held up by nothing else. Oh, it is, because it's been held in by the bloody DVD drive. Yeah, of course it is. Now it should come out. I forgot, you've got the module bit here, it sits in. Yeah, you ever do a RAM upgrade on this, this is the involvement. Is there anything else? Yeah, there is, look. See what I mean by hidden screws? Wow, that one was hiding right underneath that socket section. There should come out. Right, well that's interesting. There ain't no RAM modules. That means it's built on. I don't frigging believe it. So this can't be upgraded. Wow. The RAM's here. There's your RAM modules. It's in line. So it's probably the reasons why this can't be upgraded. So this is prefixed. I don't like the idea of that. Obviously you've got the clock battery, the GPU, and here's your RAM modules. They're right here. So this can't be upgraded. But why have they done that? Why? So no, can't upgrade it. Obviously on the front of that, and there's your other 4. So these are 2 GB sticks, which is right here. These are your RAM modules. They're the modules there because they're running right parallel with each other from the other side. So these are they're 2 gig banks, obviously. Now, why would you make something like that built on, which you now can't ever upgrade? At the end of it, you know, what a stupid way of doing it. Right, well I need to make a note of that this cannot be upgraded. The RAM's built on the board. It's actually the modules itself. So if these go bad, right, which they will over time, it's going to be game over for this laptop, because that's it. These obviously talk to each other on the BIOS, and you won't be able to even disable it unless you take it out physically, hot air, and take this out. But you've got to be careful. Look how nano some of these bits are. Obviously you've got little tiny resistors, and you know, obviously little the capacitors on there. You know, these are absolutely nano. You're going to need a microscope, and you can easily knock one of them off, and it'll be game over. And they look like they're right in between them as well. So no, you know, that's a shame, because so now this can't be upgraded then. So there's no way I can't even upgrade that at all on that front. And there's no way of obviously you take these modules off. If you take the modules off these, you're going to run into problems that, you know, you obviously have to get these in bank. So if you have to do an upgrade, you have to put these on. It's not worth it, not on the laptop. You're just going to have an headache. You're going to run into a problem at front. But it's a shame that's the way they've designed it. Yeah, that was good of Asus. That was good of Asus, wasn't it? You know, what a great way of actually starting thinking. Yeah, actually, we'll fuck them up. We won't. We'll see if we'll solder them on. Then that way you don't have to upgrade it. I mean, I've never known that on the laptop. Never. And again, the battery. You can't get to the battery. You have to get to the battery by taking all that top off to get to the battery here. Who thought that was a brilliant idea? So no, we can't. This won't be upgradable, I'm afraid. Well, that saved it.
Oh la la!
Poor.
Oh, king in the castle, king in the castle.
I'll need to get some more means set
chair.
up. So on that front. Now you know what that means. You know, I'm going to have an issue now trying to get this back into play, and this ain't going to be easy because that battery is now going to give me an headache trying to get that out. Oh no, it ain't. Here you go. She's out. I've got to remember that now to turn on the thing on it, otherwise it won't work. That is to me, that's massively disappointing. I'm really disappointed by that front, because I thought, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. That's so there's no way I'm going to be able to upgrade the RAM on it. Well, there's lessons to be learnt there, guys. Definitely. Stay away from Asus. Stay away from Asus. Don't buy an Asus, because obviously you're going to run into this issue. You think you're going to try and upgrade the RAM and you won't be able to. They'll just say, no, sorry, we've built it on the board. Well, that's a new for me. I'm not saying that I've not heard of it, but I didn't expect that. So now I've got to put all this fucking back together now. And I will put a note that no RAM modules are installed on it. It's all built in on the board. Otherwise, they are thinking that this is upgradable, and it's purely not. I won't be able to do nothing. Bit gutted, to be honest. I was looking forward to it. I thought, oh, let's see if we can get upgraded. So what I'm going to have to try and do then, to speed that up, I'm going to have to debloat Windows, because Windows is massively bloated. Massively bloated. Well, that's obviously not going in. Right, okay, fair enough. Cool. Cool. Just looking for all the arrows. And then just putting all these back on the arrow ones only. Cool. So I've got one there. Even trying to get to that clock battery, right? Even getting that clock battery one, that's not going to be accessible, because you just seen, right? Take all these dozen screws out just to flip that board over so I can gain access. Just to see if that clock battery goes bad, you've got all the hassle again, taking all this apart. Yeah, sounds about right. I've got to try and guide that in, not get hooked up. Put that screw back, which that one goes back in there. Then I've got to put the borat. I'll get, now I know that I've got to set that up. Hang on, how comes I've still got 3 screws left over? I've got all of the triangles, right? Because they're the ones that you've got to put back in. I didn't recall taking anything else out of this. Ah, I know why, didn't I? Because obviously I had that. Of course, yeah. There you go. It's probably, that makes sense, because I thought, hang on a minute, I didn't take none of that. And I've got 3 screws, so I'm one missing. So where's that gone? No, that ain't going in. Don't like that one. Leave that one out. Right, obviously we've still got 2 here. That one it didn't like, so let's put that one back in, put the fat one in. No. So that indicates to me that one's broken. It's not. It's just slotting in. It shouldn't just do that. And I've got to take the one behind it because again, it didn't like that for some reason, and I don't know why. Now, you know, the other day, obviously, one of the laptops had an issue with the hinges. I forgot who done the stream with the laptop hinges. Was it you, PD? I forgot. One of your hinges. I don't know if it was you on your stream when JFix was fixing it. He had an issue with one of the screen. The hinge system was virtually. I think it was on your ones. Yeah, it was. Because the battery had swollen and it broke all the bloody hinge out of it. I've never seen that. I mean, again, I've not known it to ever do things like that front, but I'm not saying it don't happen, because it does. But that's unbelievable. Goes to show what batteries are like. It's dangerous. You have them in your property. But I've not seen it. I've not come across one yet that was that bad to actually swollen the casing that much to actually see it for myself. And I thought, bloody hell, it's frightening. You got that in your property and you're out. You might go out shopping, and you'll come down to a bloody burnt down house. This is what worries me with batteries. I always tend to have the issue of batteries. You're thinking, oh, is it going to be okay? But then you say that. We carry mobile phones, and some of these are having all the way up to 48,000 milliamps on a battery, and that's quite a lot. Vapes, another one. Vapes are another one that everyone does. Put it in your pocket, don't think about it. We take it for granted. I know they should have what they call a battery management system, and it's supposed to protect from the thing, not only from overvolting, but it should also detect if there's a problem. It should power down. But the trouble is with batteries, you've only got to sit on it, bend it, break the connection. That ain't going to stop it from shutting down. It's going to be a runaway train. It's going to be a disaster. Well, these ones won't go back in for some reason, and I took them out. So I'm really gutted about that, because I actually did, and I've put this in right, so it ain't gone in wrong. Put these back. Yeah, one repair. Yeah, I have only one of ever exploded. Bloody hell, in itself and that, and I'm not. See what I mean? That's what really worries me with batteries. It's really frightening. It's seriously frightening. This looks like. Obviously, the metal shield goes on this to hold this down, but it's not holding these down on here. Let's point this somewhere. No. Well, I don't know why I can't put these ones back on. And it was supposed to be. So we've got another screw going into the back of the screw case there to hold that in place. Because look, it's got the same issue. If you look, it's got the exact same issue. It's the only thing with the weakness on these. Look at this when you wiggle it. Can you see it wiggling? It moves the keyboard, and it moves all the board and everything, and all the connections. This is why I say laptops are so finicky. It don't take much to actually break one of these hinges. It really don't. And because it's all made out of plastic, it's a fucking nightmare, because you know what's going to happen. That's going to end up snapping, not only damage the motherboard. Now you try and do trace repair on that, these are going to be dual layered boards, so you're going to have thinner layers inside that as well. You'll be game over. That's the only thing that worries me with these. No, it's just going straight in. For some reason, and yet I did take it out, But hopefully, when I put the screw back on the other side, this will be, it'll be fine. But and again, trying to replace the keyboard on these, you can't. Look, it's riveted. It's all got plastic rivets, so you have to buy the whole piece. So if you ever do have to, if you've got a couple of bad keys or something or on that, you've got to buy all of this, because there's no way you're going to be able to gain access to it. I mean, obviously you can take this out, but the rest of these have got plastic rivets. They've all been moulded in, so you've got to buy the whole of this section. That's mad. Or you can try and remelt all the holes on it. But and the keyboards for these are about £25 to £26. It's, you know, it's costing. You're now getting to that territory. Is it really worth it? Especially if this can't be upgraded, and clearly it can't. So, okay. So this is going to be tricky, because now I've got to try and balance this. Get these in. So this is where the tricky factor comes in. I'm saying 1 to 10, and it's a 10 plus to try and squeeze these in. I hate laptops. I think it's one of my biggest pet hates at the end of the day. This is why I like working on desktop PCs. I find it a lot easier on that front. You won't have none of this headache, like trying to squeeze a cable in or something like that, which is mad. I really need my tweezers, because this is where it's going to get a bit tricky, and obviously you're going to struggle here, and you've got to be careful, because you can easily knock off components at the same time. So what I want to do is just gently. No, I can't even get in there with tweezers. And I've got to try and get in there with my hand and tease that in. I cannot believe they designed that. I'm really gutted, absolutely gutted. Right, that one's in. So the second one is going to be up here. So before I do that, let's get the big one in. Big one's in. Cool. One more for one more. Let's get 3 for 3. And this is where you need patience on this front, because obviously you can't see, because you're doing it upside down. So you're trying to guide something in upside down. It's not going to happen. You know you're going to struggle. You just know it. And you've got to be careful not to break that ribbon cable, because you can just see what I'm working at. You've only got a few mil, and if your hands are like mine, it don't help if you've got the DTs, you know. Because you feel like, you know, when your hand's shaking all over the place, you think, Jesus, that is not easy. It's the guidance. So I'm going to have to try and use a pair of tweezers here, because I'm struggling. Now, normally, in ideal scenarios, you take the keyboard out, because normally they clipped in, and then you can unclip them from the top. Makes it easier. No, not on this they don't. No. They designed it so, no, we need you to work like this. Fuck, Jesus. No, still not going in. I cannot get this in for the love of God. It's got to slide in that slot. Got the other two in. I don't know how I managed it, but I did. No, just pop back out. Yeah, that'll be the last one. And you don't want to muck these ribbon cables up, because they're ultra thin. once you start stripping them out, that's it, it's game over. You're gonna have to order one. That was nearly in. Oh, is that one come out? No. Jeez. This one should have been the most easiest. It's being the most difficult. And it really is putting up a fight. And I don't want to balls the end up on this. Yeah, she's in now. Thank God for that. That one's in, bottom one's in. Cables all plugged in. Yeah, we've got. Hold up. Where's my torch? No, the only thing I ain't plugged in, and I'm glad I checked, and it's under the keyboard. Of course it bloody is under the keyboard. And it ends up being I don't believe I just done that. Got to lift that corner out. I forgot to put the what's name in. The cable. There she is. I've got her. Alright. That wasn't a big disaster. That could have been, but it didn't. Literally, I was so lucky there. There she's in. I'll have to try and put that screw back in. Lovely. She's in. I ain't pulled no cables out. Now all the cables are in. It was for the fan. If I didn't do that, it would have overheated and obviously cooked the CPU, which I didn't really want to do. But she's done. She's back in. For that. This ain't got to come out no more. Let's see. They're the screws for underneath it. In. I can hear something rattling, and I hate things rattling. Right. Why is that rattling? Something's rattling underneath there, and I'm not happy. Plastic. Yep, it is bits of plastic. And guess what? It's the bits on that corner that obviously broke off and it's gone brittle. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's broke underneath. So the lug that was holding on there is obviously shattered. That's probably why screws, even as delicate as one of these, was enough to shatter that. Fucking unbelievable. Right. Obviously, that's not going to be enough to actually. But we'll plug it back in. Just make sure she boots up all right. I think she's fine. Gutted. So, not upgradable, unfortunately. It's going to be a no. I'll have to make a note. Cannot be upgraded. And I should put a note on that. I'm going to do that right now. Because I always like putting notes on things. Cannot be upgraded. That way, I'll go back to it, think it's upgraded, go the same process again, take it all out, and it's going to say, no, sorry. Not be up. Grade RAM. It's on board ARD only. That's it. That way, she's done. We can't move that way. Then I know for a fact that I haven't made. It ain't in vain, because that way I know for a fact then it's, you know, we've gone down the route, we've tried it, it doesn't work, and you can't upgrade it that front. I'm gonna plug her in, just make sure she does work. I hate that plastic rolling around, it drives me up the wall. Bit gutted, to be honest. I can hear the fan, so he's spinning. Obviously I've got to find the other screws. Where they've gone, I ain't got a clue. So obviously it's going to be one of these type of issues that you're not going to be able to upgrade the RAM on it. I didn't know you can get laptops like that, but obviously you can. It must be in this case, because this one's proving it. One, repairs one, repairs one. Trouble is, I'll have to de-bloat it, because this is going to be, with 25H2 really kills your resources. So obviously I'm going to have to run the script to try and de-bloat Windows as much as I can, to the point where it don't break, so I can get rid of a lot of this crap off. That'll help to speed it up. I wish they would have done that. No, that's a right nuisance. The only other way you can obviously help to speed it up is put a M.V drive in. Obviously you can run it that way, put it in a caddy and then run it that way. You know, that will help to speed it up, because it'll have a faster read write to the drive. So it's customer. It's not, but to me it's just not worth it. Obviously it's going to because it's booted up once, obviously it's loaded every pre-system, so it shouldn't be too bad, but I can make that run a little bit quicker. Gozzy Gozzy's in the Discord team, right? Okay, so this still boots up. That's the main aspect. Okay, shut it down. So I better go and do his film. Right guys, I'll come back on a bit later. I've got some more stuff to repair. I've got to sort his film out, so on that front. But yeah, thanks for popping in on that front. But I will go back. I probably will be back in a couple of hours, and then come back on. Obviously I want to get through some other bits and pieces. Thanks Anne for popping in on that front. Yeah, shame that didn't turn up today. I honestly thought I was going to receive that. No, it looks like I'm going to get it tomorrow at the end of it. So you pay for 24-hour sort of like delivery, unless it's guaranteed at 1 PM on that front. Yeah, thanks Stuart. Oh, did you? Oh yeah, Stuart, I didn't even know you was in, bro. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, come back about I'd say come back about 5. I'm going to be back in. Yeah, wasted. And then I've got some more bits to crack on with. So this laptop is not upgradable, so but we did get one fixed, sort of upgraded to that point in that front. And then I'll see you guys again soon if you want to pop on. So we'll take it from there. Don't know what we're going to do, but I've got something to be getting on with. All right, guys. See you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.